and he wins them objective after objective. He just lands spear after spear. So I do like that pickup. Again, locking in the Nidalee for Shifter at mid, giving them a lot of late game power as well. They can go for that poke game.
All right, their team setting up. Peripherals in the perfect position. It looks like somebody wants Dyrus to do well this game. We have Coast on the blue side, TSM on the red side. Game 2 here of Super Week. And let's see if Team SoloMid can keep their wins alive. They're quite high in the standings right now at 13-3. Coast is 7-9 after making that 5-1 run. See if they can keep it going.
You know, I think that the nerf to Doran shield also helps Renekton, because Dyrus up here in the top lane, he's going to have an easier time of bullying Shyvana than he did before. It's actually significant nerfs to that Doran shield. And I'm fairly surprised that we do have Daydreaming going back to that item, starting off with it as well. So bottom lane, especially going with the new hotness, Spell Thieves. Going to try and harass as much as possible with that. And Dyrus going to be doing the same thing, shoving his lane in.
You know you want to, Shifter.
Do it. Shifter has manners. He's not going to do it. Or what you do is you wait till minions are about to spawn, and then you throw it, so they can't go back to the fountain and heal it. Ha!
You are a BM player, aren't you?
I'm pretty BM.
Reginald just on
I
the
pick
outside.
Pantheon all the time, so
Yeah.
he's pretty BM.
You don't even give the guy first blood. You just take it.
Ooh, Reggie. Reggie, he said he's an aggressive player. He likes to get close to the action there. He knew somebody was in that bush. Oh,
hey!
Shifter sets up the trap. Look at that ward. He plays that ward all just for this level 1 spear, and it paid off. The trinket ward right there, giving him some good harass. Good start to the lane for him. Dyrus actually helps out. So the reason Renekton trying to help out there on the buff is he gets a little bit of Fury. Any little bit of that for Renekton helping him build up means that more bully potential for that lane. And you can see he uses his Koldamig before he hits that 50% mark, so that it actually charges up his rage and he gets to that power point faster rather than wasting it.
Always something that takes you a second to learn.
Yeah.
Like, I'm going to charge it. It's all gone. Just 200 gold. Going in the favor as the lanes are being pushed in, most likely in that bottom lane. So we see the level 2 trying to come fast here from Wild Turtle and Xpecial. Xpecial trying to help and get last hits on as well as often as possible, getting that Spell Thief's edge to work. So you get 3 per 30, 3 every 10, something like that. Nintendude X onto the blue. Looks like Odd1's already level 3 around the jungle, and he's starting to make some moves.
Yeah, Odd1. So he got kind of low on mana there because he did the wolves. He wanted to hit level 3 quickly. And then he did the golems. Oh, wow. They make some good moves here. Both junglers passing each other. Odd1 goes for the counter jungling, whereas Nintendude wants to gank bottom. But the ward from Xpecial, very well placed here. It's not just covering the,
I don't think they caught him.
Tri-bush. They'll see him now.
Yeah, now they're going to see him. The Flash Flay comes in. Oh, he gets it again.
What in
he
the
did
world?
the same thing to Dyrus in their last game.
Nintendude is pretty much a god. He's able to predict so many people's flashes. If he goes for it and Xpecial doesn't flash, then oh well, he's behind him.
No way.
Yeah, let's take another look at it.
No way.
He's like, okay, you're going to flash. Nintendude gave it away too because he turned. He turned in the direction he was going to go this time. He actually didn't hold it. Last time, he didn't even turn. He ran straight at the champion. Especially, though, very predictable play right there. Nintendude, again, rewarded for the chance that he takes going for that.
Punch first, ask questions later. Gives him first blood. 5.7. Only 100 gold lead here with what TSM had been able to work before that. But Nintendude X has to be feeling good about that. And I'm sure that puts the team in high spirits to start off a game that they would love to win in Super Week.
Yeah, I guess that ward wasn't... Dyrus just... I guess that ward wasn't as good as I thought it was.
Ooh, big damage onto Wild Turtle. The Ignite goes down. Wiz is well enough in the range of having mana to get another hit and passive shots off, but no cooldowns for him.
That bottom lane is pretty happy now. Nintendude, by the way, making all the right moves this game. Jumping over the dragon, getting into position. Now he's moving up top. He wants to make the same thing happen with Dyrus.
See what he can
too
do.
far. He's too far. Unless he wants to flash for this, they're not going to.
Yeah.
Wow.
Got the flash. And this is actually what Alex Penn had said just in the interview. If we can make a play bottom lane and relieve some pressure, then we could start to get things around the map.
Exactly. And the bottom lane definitely really happy about that, but they haven't really transitioned it into more power because Annie Caitlyn is so poke heavy, and they're taking a lot of harass here. But, you know, they haven't gone back to buy. Daydreaming with that first blood cash. See what he goes for.
It's still very TSM-esque on this side. They're saying, yeah, we got killed, but we're still going to push you into this turret as hard as possible. Yeah.
I mean, the new Spell Thieves is extremely powerful for that harass if you play offensively like that. Does get 3 of those procs every 30 seconds.
Right.
And if you use them all the same, they have individual timers. So if you use them all at the beginning of that 30 seconds, then they all come back up at the same time. But if you space them out, then they'll come back. The cooldown on each one will come back spaced out as well. Odd One keeping up that counter jungling. Taking down Pinks.
Ooh. Good hits. Shifter is more than not one of the people that are definitely thread the needle, get some really nice spears in. And really, Spring Split, I think it was, when everybody's using Xerath in Italy, we would see these compositions where you wouldn't even engage the team. They'd all be half health when you got to their inhibitor just because they ate so many spears. And Shifter really one of the players to be able to do that. On to Daydream in the bottom lane. They try to relieve some pressure, but they're still going to find it from the Odd One.
Yeah, great flash. Getting in there for the damage. Odd One already with that long sword. Extra damage is going to help out, and they get a kill. Answered back for TSM. They're feeling pretty good. Even though Nintendo made some flashy plays, they got all the early game lanes. No, this CS lead is expected from TSM, by the way, just from the champions that they picked. So it's not anything new coming here. Renekton and Gragas handling their own. By the way, you know, Reggie, it's worth saying, doing very well against Shifter.
He's doing quite well for himself. They've faced off before. Shifter is definitely a member of the team that they wanted forever. For the longest time, they played with Jintei. And in interviews, they'd say they were going to use Jintei as well. And when the opportunity arose, Jintei did have to go, but they were like, Shifter right away. He's just someone that has melded with the team. And they always speak about how his champion pool really creates so many opportunities for what Coast can bring to the table. We'll see how he can do. Like you said, 57-44 against Gragas.
I want to say that since you're just talking about Shifter, he's taken it upon himself to try and get the Eve warding done. Pink ward and a deep ward by the camp. Shifter, not only does he carry the team a lot, but he's the one actually getting the vision for his team. He just did a lot right there, investing that money, getting that deep ward into the camp to try and track Odd One, because Nintendo has not really had an opportunity to go into the jungle of TSM yet.
Ooh, great grab. Couldn't necessarily hit that Q. He would have put himself on the trap. So they trade back and forth a little bit of damage. Reginald going around for the blue buff. See the same thing coming from Shifter. He just got his. It looks like he may actually try to steal this. They're waiting. They are so waiting. They're like, we don't see him. He went back to his own jungle. Reginald was ready to take that one in the back of the head, but no go there. 68-62 as we said in that lane, but looking up top, Dyrus 72-48, and he builds up that Spectral's Cowl first for that hybrid damage.
Yeah, magic damage. There's a decent amount of magic damage on Shyvana early, so it'll also help him if they do have to team fight earlier with taking spears. He's definitely going to be the one on the team that wants to
that's true.
Catch most of those. I do want to point out, though, I was wondering what Daydreamer would do with that first blood money, and he's putting it towards a talisman. Now, this route of the gold per 5 for supports in 4.3, not very strong for combat stats for the laning phase. No, but he already started with the Doran Shield, so he had a decent amount of those. And he wants to have the disengage for his team later because they are running in Italy, and they will be sieging up at turrets. They want the extra move speed from Talisman.
Ooh. That would have been pretty big. That was a level 7 Nintendo. Definitely would have had an ultimate of Assault and Battery coming in. He is level 7 quite fast, too. Way higher than anyone here.
Yeah, ineffective first gank for Vi. That's always a pretty big win for the enemy team. If they can get... Oh, no. He still has his ulti. He's coming back. He's coming back.
one after the other. Oh, he can't get it. He just couldn't get the lantern. He already had the Q going.
So, again, not able to get his ulti off there because it's too close to the turret. But bottom lane for TSM does stay alive.
I like the fact that they didn't decide to just go in because they had the chance. A lot of times Coast can put themselves in a sticky situation, but they're making the right moves here. 1-1, 10 minutes into the game. They are down a bit of gold, but it's expected against Team SoloMid. Like we said, the lanes would be in their favor up to that first dragon to really turn the tide of this game.
Ooh.
Good damage, actually.
Trying to get it there.
So close. Got some good damage, though.
I guess that ward does serve two purposes. You get to go try and steal the wraiths away as well.
So not as much pink ward coverage coming out as Cloud9 put up last game. See if that hurts Coast. They got a few.
It really just is,
1, 2.
you know, Shifter doing a lot there. Daydreamin has one in his pocket, though. So not only is the one down bottom, but they have another one to be able to place. So they're doing a pretty good job. They're just not quite as aggressively placed, I think.
A lot more had come off of at least grabbing Dyrus last time. Once they got that kill off of his flash and vault breaker, which we saw happen from Nintendo in the bottom lane, they were able to grab that turret, open up the map a bit. It opened up the dragon pressure, so things are happening a little slower for Coast this game. We'll see if they can make their own opportunities.
I can't believe that there's nothing going on mid here because Reggie has not warded up sides. Nintendo, okay, there it is then.
Wee-oo.
Can he land
that? Oh, so close. Reggie gets the move out. Nintendo is going to find an ultimate. The Peacemaker.
Oh my.
That is a dead Nintendo. Odd one very close. A good hook there. Shifter with enough mana. But it looks like he's going Cougar form to clear out mid. They're going to try to get as much damage onto the turret as they're losing Dragon.
I think 5 months of vacation is just what Reggie needed. He's playing great here. Able to turn around that gank, dodge that spear at the end, and they're rewarded with a dragon. Great pickup for TSM here.
Or that free flow and play. Don't worry too much about your mistakes. You know they might happen, but he just plays on through them. Dragon going over. That's now a 2,000 gold lead. Very fast coming in through the game. Another hook onto a special.
Wow.
Constant aggression in the bottom lane. Timbers goes out, but it goes down immediately. And they gain the advantage there. Special going down twice now.
Yeah, Special getting caught sleeping here. Great hook from Daydreamin. And easy for them to combo that into a kill. The flash for it.
Oh, this is going to be... No, they missed the W. Wiz Fusion does not get any of that passive movement speed, and they don't catch up to Turtle. However, they get his flash. They can come back for that for 5 minutes.
All right, bottom lane of Costa. We don't usually talk about it. They are making their own plays nowadays. It wasn't even just the gank from Nintendo. Stepping up pretty big, trying to answer. But TSM still with a fairly commanding lead. And Turtle going back at that point didn't hurt him too much since he had enough money to complete his Bloodthirster anyway. That's the power point that he wanted. He wants to get that complete as soon as possible to start charging it up.
Dyrus says, get out of my home. Zion Spartan's going to stay there for a while. We see sweepers being picked up now on Xpecial. And Daydreamin after the Sight Stones now finally coming out. May see a little more aggression towards Dragon in that bottom lane. They'd love to have one of these guys down there. Neither of them have teleport, so it would be a long, long walk.
Odd one, too, with another sword, another long sword here. I think he might be going for that Blade of the Ruined King build on Evelynn. It's a pretty high DPS build, and then he'll probably go tank after that. And he's much happier this game than Snoopé was because there are not a lot of wards at the campus. It's just that Wraith camp that Shifter keeps warding. Nintendo, though, wants to help out with Vision as well, and he's got a pink ward to place himself. Coming up top with the ulti. Half-life, though, always scary to gank a Renekton when you're low as a jungler.
Don't want to get this one turned around. Zion Spartan.
No ulti, though, for Dyrus. So
there we go. Just got the ult up. Yeah, Dyrus won't have that. He's not even half through that cooldown. Nintendo goes and starts with the Assault Battery. The Vault Breaker to follow through, but it's been on cooldown since the wall. He gets it, doesn't hit Dyrus in the tail side. Looks like he's going to get out of this one alive with a bit of a taunt.
I'm always impressed about the confidence of Renektons to go for the slice and dice when they're barely overlapping champion models. But he did it again. Great job there by Dyrus, knowing his limits. And they get the Vi ulti down. Pretty long cooldown. Glad to have that threat off the table. Odd one making moves on the bottom side since they just saw Nintendo up top.
Looks like on cooldown we just got word that Odd One has ulted on accident. It happens. That's going to be on cooldown. So
Man, that wasn't even on camera. You guys didn't have to call him out.
2-2, 2K in the lead. No turrets have been dropped this game. Not a regular game for Team SoloMid in any way. They usually have quite a few turrets right now.
What's he looking to do here? Call over Dyrus. Dyrus should probably move. This. Oh, he gets his flash solo.
Forcing the flash. He's going to running down to Shifter here in the mid lane, giving himself some primal surges to get some attack speed. Take down this turret. Coast is looking to grab some gold for themselves. Right now, he might put himself in a sticky situation.
That is the big story here. Jungler gets cannon minion. Great move from Reggie up top then. Odd1 very happy with that one. And Reggie, he got a free flash out of that. Well, it wasn't free because he had to roam up top and they lost turret damage, but was able to grab that. And you have to commend him for the play in LCS. Coming back pretty strong. Now, this is round 2 of the Wraith game. Is Shifter going to steal it up there? Well, we'll never know.
Nintendude previously hatching that ward on
Reggie
the
got it
Tri-Brush.
again! 2 for 2 with those. There we go.
His own Wraith battle. It's a hard-fought one. 16 minutes in, Nintendude has to back off in the bottom lane, but the pink ward coverage. Look at this, like a landing zone in mid lane here with all these bushwhacks.
Yeah, Nidalee warding up both sides. In case Odd1 decides to get a little frisky in the mid lane. Right now, though, looking at bottom, trying to capitalize on the stun from Xpecial. It is up, but Nintendude in the area as well. Oh, no! TSM!
All right, so we'll say nobody saw that one.
TSM. Some blunders down bottom side of the map here. Couple ultis wasted.
Second one in the error column. It's all right.
That is the signal for them to leave, but Nintendude comes back.
Oh, so close. Zion, Spartan, Dyrus going hard in the top lane as well since they have nowhere to teleport to. They want to duke it out. Everybody else is fighting. Why can't they? Dyrus has actually really good damage on this turret. Nobody has a Sunfire cape, so that's going to make it a little harder to take down.
Yeah, Dyrus is doing a great job. I think the nerfs to that Durant shield did a lot for that matchup.
Worked out.
Even more in his favor. And also the threat of Evelynn. You have to realize, these are winning lanes for TSM just in the normal matchup, but then also adding the global pressure of Evelynn. That's always in the back of these players' minds. Not being able to go too aggressive because they think she might be in the area. So, expecting those CS differences. We'll have to see if these ultimates from TSM end up costing them, because it doesn't look like it's a high impact when you lose out on an Eve ulti or you lose out on that Tibbers and nothing happens, but it's wasted opportunity for them.
See where the playmaking comes from in this game. It's going to be hard for TSM to really get a good initiation in unless they have that cask. They can split someone out, or Xpecial does his, I wouldn't say patented, but that flash Tibbers once he gets it back up off a cooldown.
Definitely not patented anymore.
18 minutes on this one. The Lantern goes in for a bit of vision, and Odd1 finds himself a hook. They don't get the steal on that. It's like Wiz Fusion's just backed out.
You know, CC does not stop you from smiting except for suppression. However, if he's far enough away and you yank him out of range of smite, then you can actually do that. However,
pretty clever.
You know, he was close enough anyway. But just for future thought, if you can drag him away, that will work as well.
Reginald trying to clear up some bushwhacks, get that vision out of there. Could cause some problems later, maybe some initiations or some deadly ending spears. Shifter now with the needlessly large rod, probably going to fix up some Sork boots for more penetration for himself quite soon. He's a 13 to Reginald's 12 right now, but they've been doing a little bit more roaming.
All right, everyone collapsing on this blue buff. Nintendude goes in for it.
He does get it. He gets kind of pushed out of this one by the explosive cask.
Where's
One more hit. A lot going in for this blue buff right now. Oh, it does come off in the end, but there were a lot of flashes.
Yeah, the Ignite there, going to take him down anyway. He gets a lot of flashes, and he got the blue buff down, but does pay for it with his life, and they lose map control.
See where they're going with builds in the jungle. Odd1 going for that lizard, so he puts himself up a Hex Drinker, worried about the spears as well. A bit of that mixed damage from Shyvana. You see damage coming out now from Nintendude. He looks to have 2 long swords for himself as well.
Now, as we do look towards that mid game, you know, Coast, we're expecting to be a little bit down here. And there's feeling still fairly comfortable about it, because it's all about, can Shifter land high impact spears in the mid game. And then they have the talisman completed. Daydreamin has rest for that one. So they do have the repositioning power. And really, I think for TSM, it's all going to be about, can Reggie land a good ulti? Can Xpecial get a good flash Tibbers? You know, not whiff that one. Because they need hard engage against Shifter's late game Nidalee. We've seen it time and time again.
Right.
You give him too many spears to throw, he's going to land one eventually onto a carry and force you out of an objective.
We'll see if TSM can drag this on, like we said about last game. Those Banshees Veils against the LeBlanc, against the Nidalee, they start helping quite a bit and allow that initiation. Odd one creeping in here, but it doesn't look like they'll get close enough. 29,000 to 31.8. AD carries have been keeping it pretty close this game. Like we said, Wiz Fusion was one of our players to watch, and he's faring quite well against that Wild Turtle Xpecial lane right now.
You know, as far as that blue buff goes, even though TSM didn't get that one,
yeah,
you know, getting it off of Shifter. Well, I guess in the end they did get it because they killed.
Oh, top lane, yeah, he did die.
Because they killed Nintendo.
The Ignite.
But really, what's important is they have the timer for it, so they definitely want to invade it again. Denying an AP middly, the blue buff is definitely huge. So I think that TSM really just waiting again for that timer. If they can get control of the mid with this turret down, it'll make that secondary blue buff invade that much easier for them.
Ooh.
They're starting to hurt. He's got the death cap.
That's a pretty soft turtle shell right there. Oh, minion grab. Extra gold coming in for Daydreamin.
Wild Turtle. Be careful. Oh, yeah.
That
the spear is in front of his face the whole time.
I think that would have killed him.
It definitely would have killed him.
That bushwhack would have sucked out the rest of his life.
So, did you see Beowulf in 3D where the arrows come at your face? It was exactly that experience for Wild Turtle.
You know what? I have something to do after the games today.
It's great. It's a good one. I wouldn't see very many movies in 3D, but that one was good.
All right, thank you.
There you go.
I'll have to go to my local store and get some 3D glasses.
All right. Well, let's look at the mid game because we are approaching that situation here. I think some more ward coverage from Coast around this blue buff is going to be paramount for them. Xpecial doing a good job, though, clearing it out. And you got one of them, but there's a sneaky ward in the back of that Wraith bush.
It's just all. He said, this game, no matter what happens, I'm going to try to steal Wraiths all the time. 4,000 gold lead, a minute and 40 for Dragon. This is like what TSM wants right now, but also what Coast wants. TSM, like we said, doesn't have too much of that initiation unless Flash Tibbers is up, which it so nicely is for Xpecial. With Shifter staying on the outside of what could happen at Dragon, start setting up a push in the bottom lane. They have a minute to go here, so they're going to be setting up.
TSM, very, very interested to see where they go because they can also siege up at a turret, make use of that Caitlyn range and Gragas ulti. The only problem for them if they do go for turret siege is it's very hard for Evelynn to get in and be effective. She really thrives on coming around from a different angle as the rest of the team, trying to flank their opponents to get off a good ulti. Dyrus, though, is on the chase.
This would be a lot bigger, too, if in 50 seconds Xpecial can hit level 11 and get that second tick of his ultimate in. Daydreamin and him are the only ones sitting at 10 right now. Everybody else is ready to put full power into this fight. Right now, they're just clearing out wards, playing it real safe. They know what the timers are here. They're not trying to make any mistakes.
Yeah, trying to clear out around that blue. Dragon, though, will be coming up first, and that's going to be the first thing to fight over. Top laners will be on their own island, so the 4 versus 4 matchup. Very, very interesting, because TSM, they still have to worry about the spears. So almost the 20 seconds leading up to Dragon are just as important as that Dragon spawn, because this is the time where Shifter trying to get a lead for his team.
Oh, a bit of a long-range wombo combo.
Okay, I thought he might go in on that hook, but he did not. So
he got me excited.
Everybody calm down.
24 minutes into this one, Dyrus hovering in the mid lane, making sure the minions don't push up too far. But that
he came down, and they've decided to split. They're going to give up the Dragon. They're going to go for the top. Shifter, can he steal this Dragon away with a spear?
Dyrus looks like he's got some prey in his mouth, twisting and turning down behind the Dragon Pit.
He's going for that spear.
Hold that Dragon out. Oh, he splits the trifecta of TSM opponents. Looks like Dyrus could find himself in a bad spot. Dominus is being used, and now it's a 4v1. Dyrus says, all right, let's play. Shifter's back to the turret. They still have the turret. Agony's Embrace, a flash over the wall, but they may have bitten off more than they can chew. Wild Turtle is going to get a kill onto that one, but they also lose the odd one. The down on Daydream, and so far 2 for 1 right now, and they got to be careful here. That turret aggro is onto Reginald. He's not getting out anytime soon. Nintendo goes down. Wiz Fusion, one more shot from Turtle, and they put the shell on and go hard.
Now, even though the hook lands, Coast really don't want that fight. They're just trying to delay TSM. This is a 5 versus 4, and they knew it was a 5 versus 4. They called to give up the dragon for this. Dyrus tanks up the turret as long as possible, and even though the odd one gets ultied and taken out, that's the only member of TSM that goes down for this 4-man kill. And yes, Coast got top turret for the dragon, but they also are going to lose the bottom turret. So really, really big bonus there for TSM. Coast going for that initiation. I don't know why they went for it. I think they were just trying to delay TSM. They didn't want the actual fight.
Right.
They were just trying to delay them to buy time for Zion. And they ended up just getting way more than they could actually take, because TSM, as soon as they got engaged on, went full tower dive mode.
That's what we were talking about. TSM's not going to engage from a long range. They wanted that on the front doorstep, and they picked it up. They also picked up 4 kills, whether he had them. 2, 2, and 9, 4, 0, and 1 for Wild Turtle now on the board. It looks like he's going straight for the Infinity Edges. The Phantom Dancer is finished. It's going to be pure power from him. That's not going to be very good. Armor is only right now onto Zion Spartan, so if they get these team fights again, Wild Turtle's going to be doing what he does best.
That was just it further increased the lead there for TSM. Feeling real good about their situation now. They do need to start pushing down the secondary layer of turrets, though, because they are pretty early game focused. Giant gold lead, though, definitely going to help out as they move in further. It's really going to be, will the spears from Shift... Dyrus hooks around.
Whoa, they find the sandwich. Wiz Fusion is going to be the one that gets caught. Couldn't do much about that.
Yeah, no ward coverage in their own jungle. TSM have all the coverage down there in red side. Get another turret.
That's Team SoloMid finding an advantage and then building on it very quickly. 27 minutes in the game. They pretty much stay on the side of Coast after that dragon happens and just keep going at it. Only a few of them back. They still been just wandering about.
Uh-oh, this is very dangerous for Coast. They're down a man.
Dyrus going in, trying to get that power play to stick for them. Daydreaming didn't really want that hook, but now out of the laning phase, they're not being able to do as much as that bottom lane was. Daydreaming and Wiz had the bit of an advantage, and we're looking for them to come through big here. See what Coast can do now as a team.
Oh man, those pink wards. All right, Baron bait here. It's hard to Baron bait against Italy, though. Coast playing it very cautiously.
Flash Tibbers.
X Special comes. He got one.
Got one of them. They actually stretched out for that one quite hard, but they still have everybody in a group. There's only X Special that went off by himself, and nobody wants to toy with the little girl that's on fire. Daydreaming gets hit up quite hard. Oh, it comes with the back. The explosive cask after the Peacemaker to shred the last of the HP. Ace in the hole off to the side, hits Nintendo, takes him down, and they're going to keep going on this fight. Shifter's the next focus. The Cougar's not going to be enough, and Odd One takes him down. A double kill for Zion Spartan as they are trying to retaliate as much as possible. It's not going to be enough. Wiz Fusion goes down. Odd One gets up very low, and the ace coming in from Team SoloMid.
Man. All right, Reggie able to chase down Daydreaming here. Even though it's special engaged on the top side, it was really all just a ploy. And the rest of TSM goes straight up the blue buff there. Chases down Coast. So Zion is pretty strong, and he at least is able to chase down Wild Turtle in this. Good amount of harass there from Wiz Fusion. But as we know, the hero, the general, is able to survive this one. Get out alive with that extra reset to his W. Man, Hex Drinker Shield really coming up big for him as well.
That was a nice kill coming in for Zion Spartan. That 6-1 and 4 Wild Turtle, so he gets more gold under his belt. We've seen Dyrus carry an entire game on Shyvana. We'll see if Zion Spartan can put himself in that position. He has 3 plays on that so far, 2-1. Dyrus is Shyvana's 4-0 right now, so he knows what he's been up against in that lane. He knows how to play against it.
Oh, vision control around Baron. Gets them a talisman activation. TSM pretty happy with that. Wiz Fusion does show bottom, so Coast have to be worried that TSM are working on Baron right now. And now again, it's the vision fight here. They've actually picked up a scrying orb. Shifter trying to keep his team from face checking in the Baron. Now the problem with scrying orb is that the cooldown is so long. It's actually not that great, but I really do like seeing it.
I love this. I love it.
I love it so much. The cooldown, though. The cooldown, though.
Oh, the initiation! That's what they wanted. The cask is going to be enough, and it's a bit of a wombo combo. The Lantern from Nintendo, but the flash from the odd one. He keeps throwing out the Qs. I can hear him hitting it from here. Zion Spartan's going to be going down in this if he can keep the chase. The Randuin's is on, but Zion Spartan's tied his shoes too tight, and he's out of there.
All right, 2 men down, though. It's up to the hero Spears now. Shifter, can he do it from the outside? Oh, Reggie getting chased down!
Trying to get the culling in. Can he get the W? He'll have it. But no, the body slam will be up. Reginald's fine. He may return to his team. It looks like they're actually going to try to 4-man Baron here.
Yeah.
They're only working with 3 members and really
Should
only 2 that are close enough. Not going to be the Spears coming from Shifter. Not going to be Wiz Fusion in a scary spot. Team SoloMid grabs all 3 dragons of the game, and now at 30 minutes, the first Baron.
I have got to shout out Reggie, too. He has not died in this game. He's playing so well, having not played for so long, and he just hops right back in. I think getting that comfort pick for him was very big for TSM. And banning out especially the really tough matchups like now, like Lulu off the board, having him not have to play against that, really did a lot for them.
And they picked that up, I'd say, right in that pick, too. I think he picked his own champion because it was the Renekton and then the Caitlyn, so he was happy blind picking that on the red side over to whatever Shifter had to take. Very confident about the Gragas play. He's been putting in some hours, like we heard his brother say. They were solo queuing, him and Dan Din, as much as they could, trying to get Reggie back into practice. So far, so good.
Hey, that gives hope to all the D3 players. Diamond 3, Reggie, transferred very easily into LCS play.
You only have to play 16 hours a day.
Nah, he's got years.
Yeah.
5 years of experience to fall back on, so not that easy to jump back in. TSM, though, they're feeling really good about this position. With that Baron buff, should be pretty easy for them to siege up. And at that point, you still have to always worry about the ult from Reggie. If he can get one of the low health members to knock forward, it's an easy combo with a special. I mean, you always have to worry about the Annie and the Gragas ulti, even at your turret. Turtle is going to be trying to get pot shots off at this turret. We'll have to see how the siege goes as they do loop around. Dyrus looking for that side flanking.
Gotta say, just as a one-off, pretty good farming by everyone in this game. Around 30 minutes, a lot of people hitting 300. You almost have Shifter staying on that 10-a-minute. See the grab on and an odd one. Yeah. That's not really what they wanted.
Good spear, though. Low health Turtle.
Brute Force right here. They have Zion Spartan on the initiation and Tendude X on that dive buddy roll call.
They killed off the golems already, so Turtle does not have anything to lifesteal off.
True.
He needs that next wave to get through. Reggie, please don't kill that wave. Turtle needs to lifesteal off it.
That was a good barrel anyway.
Yeah. Zoning barrel.
Yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Man-to-man defense.
All right, Turtle back at full.
There we go.
It's going to be really hard for Coast. They have to get another one of those. And you can see them respecting X Special's range plus his flash. It's actually good zone control there of Coast to know that X Special has his flash up and not to get too close to get flash tibbers.
Big gold lead, 61,000 to 46,000 right now. Team SoloMid with so much to keep these fights going or just keep the pressure onto Coast. Once it's initiated, they have 2 Randuins to fly through this fight with. The Mikhails as well. So much more to be used here. Dyrus's Banshee's Veils just getting popped on and off. That's the grab they want, but they're not going to go. Reginald took big damage there, but they want to go back and forth still. Explosive cast used out.
Ult.
It's getting a little bit better. Ults are being used. 33 minutes in, this is getting real tight, and that Baron is something they don't want to fight.
Baron buff regen now comes into play because fairly even trades there. TSM actually getting a little bit of the worse, but they've got so much more regen, and Coast can't afford to go back to their fountain right now. This is going to be the final push on this turret.
You can't lock him up. All those Caitlyn traps are stopping it, but Zion Spartan dives in and he gets taken down immediately. There goes the odd one. That's 1 for 1 so far, but will it be enough? Coast is actually on their heels way too much right now, and it is going to be the turret, going to be the inhibitor. A huge hit there from Reginald. Can he get a body slam into another cast? No, it's just going to be enough for Dyrus. Looks not good right now for Coast inside their base. It's just being shredded. TSM's going to walk out with a few kills there. The gold lead is just mounting right now.
Yep. Tibbers. Oh, everybody Tibber fans. Takes one for the team. 50 gold for Shifter.
The trifecta of eyes guarding Baron for Team SoloMid right now is a little creepy. Nobody's been up there lately. Bottom's down, bottom's taken, so they really don't have to worry about too much. There's so much pressure that's going to be pouring through there now. TSM has more control than Coast would really want them to.
Coast, like, they cannot even venture up to that Baron area. That's like the Bermuda Triangle of pink wards. If they go up there, they're going to disappear and die, never to return.
That sounds very likely, actually, at this point.
Now,
6-3 in turrets. It looks completely dark on the side of Coast right now. It's a little scary to be walking around. They're going to get all the lanes pushed here, and it's just about a matter of time for Team SoloMid.
well, they're looking to shove right down another lane here. Bottom will be pushing for them. Who will clear the bottom? They don't have great wave clear. I mean, I guess Wiz will be trying to clear bottom and then dash back up to the fight if a fight breaks out. It is hard for Coast to wave clear, though, so
Yeah.
we'll have to see how they deal with the secondary push from TSM with those super minions knocking on the bottom.
TSM doing a very good job throughout the early part of the game, staving off what Coast was doing in the bottom lane. Good kills from WizFusion, Daydream, and Nintendude, but it didn't seem like they were able to create anything off of those kills.
Yeah. Reggie with a GA now, too. He does not want to die.
I'd say that's a good policy. Yeah. Maybe that's why he hasn't died yet.
Because he doesn't want to?
Oh,
he's still playing aggressive, though.
It's still Reggie.
Right up there into the
Still
turret.
Reggie.
All right, so they opt for Shifter to do it. He's getting to half life, though, and him being there means they have no hope because the spears aren't going to be landing on TSM during the siege. TSM going to be able to get this turret. Whoa, halfway through, Zan jumped!
Oh, wow. They're able to bully this out. He can't thread the needle, but that's Wiz having to take the ace in the hole for half of his HP. The turret goes down. Team SoloMid just pretty much flexing their muscles, brute forcing their way into the base. The calling's not going to do much from the backside. They already get Nintendude, turning their eyes on to Daydream, and they make quick work of him, putting them to sleep. WizFusion
GA pop!
gets that GA pop.
Darius protecting his coach!
Bro risk coming up big there. 70,000 gold about to click over here for Team SoloMid. 20,000 gold lead is what we're looking at.
Darius going to get a bonus after this game.
See where Shifter. You can find anybody.
Oh, find Darius. That's rough, actually.
Uh-oh.
People, they knock on Renekton's endgame, but that's only if Renekton has the same gold as other champions. His early game is so strong that he has so much more gold in the late game that his late game is actually beastly right now because he has a whole extra item, 2 items on Zion.
Team SoloMid really playing off the ball here.
Whoa, Reggie on the front line.
Minions in the bottom lane. Wild Turtle gets hit. Zion dives right in, and that doesn't work out too well for him, but a good spear on the Wild Turtle from the side gets a retribution for the dragon kill. One going on to WizFusion, and they're losing more and more. Those pings say do not do it, and that turret in the bottom for the Nexus is just a tick away from going down.
They have 2 inhibitors down. They cannot stay out that long. But it was a pretty good win for Coast getting Turtle down and stopping Baron. It's such a long road to get back in this game, though.
Definitely going to be a hard task. Shifter, the only one with really enough safety to get himself out and back through the jungle, is going to do so to try and clear pink wards that are only going to be put back up. They're
only got 2
war
of them.
That keeps going. Yeah, that's true. Didn't find the one in the brush. I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem, as the fight that happens at Baron will probably be the last fight of the game, if that's where it takes place.
So yeah, there's really 2 paths here. Neither of them look good for Coast. Either it's a fight at Baron where they have no vision, or it's a Baroned up TSM attacking your exposed inhibitor. Neither of those sound like good choices. So they're really going to have to choose the lesser of 2 evils. Just try and defend their base, most likely.
You can usually say we have a few levels to wait when things aren't looking good. Everybody has maybe 4 or 5 levels to 18, but TSM is pretty much hitting that bar right now. Nintendude X is actually 2 behind the odd one. His initiations are becoming that much more dangerous, and he's not really getting the items. He's gone after that defense full damage because the team needs it.
Yeah, they need to be able to kill somebody.
Yeah.
Even if they do get initiations so hard. Darius does come up, so it will be the 5-man TSM, and Coast come out of the base. Try and contest this one. There goes the Scrying Orb.
Here's the cavalry. Nintendude gets hit up right. Wow, disappeared from the map. Warp speed. Nintendo down for 50 seconds. Reginald and the team looked like to go to the top side and follow the minions in, but they have a lot of work they can do if anything goes wrong.
Oh my goodness.
Very, very close. Shifter on the chase. I don't know if he's going to... Oh, the Randuins did hit! Can he get the passive movement speed out of the brush? Here comes the ultimate, the barrier. Nidalee usage. There's the... Oh, the Primal Surge! Juked out! Broken ankles for Odd1.
Shifter with the moves. Their base is still going to get destroyed, though.
Yeah, it looked good for a little bit. Got to take the good with the bad. 40 minutes into this game, 22-7. It has slowed TSM down a little bit. They got him distracted on the chase of Shifter, but
yeah,
only for a little bit.
And they got one Banshees. Pretty tanky Odd1 here, though. Hook him in.
Oh, missed the W. Could have been some good damage. 40 minutes, like I said. It's getting really, really crazy here for Coast. They're going to have to make one good fight. They got to watch out for the Flash Tibbers initiation, which is up. That stun is up.
It's go time for Coast here.
It's a Baroned up TSM. Inhibitor goes down. Zion Spartan is caught. That needed to be used offensively. There's no time for the defensive use of spells.
All right, 3 inhibitors down, Baroned up TSM. This is very, 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 very sad times for Coast now.
Strong game played by Team SoloMid. There's the initiation and Tendu, like we said, trying to get the damage in with that new Black Cleaver he put in his belt. Spears to the backside. They trade good damage. Shifter over to Wild Turtle, but it's the focus of Wiz, Zion, and Daydream, and all huddled around Dyrus' dominance, taking consistent damage, making sure he was in the middle of the fight. TSM looks to the Nexus turrets, and they look to grab the second win in Super Week over Coast.
Reggie 6-0-14.
Yeah, coming in big on the game. 14-3 now on the spring split in 2014. Team SoloMid takes the win.